everybody. Well, just getting into my base camp here. Thought I'd take some time to show you how I set up my tent. Looks like there's going to be some moisture. I choose to use a tarp because it's simply the lightest option and keeps you dry. At least dry enough that you're not going to be miserable. I like to use the ProFly from ENO, which I keep rolled up with my bed mattress. So what I like is to keep the strings from my first glider, the A's and the Stabilos. It has always brought me luck. I feel that my first wing and the endeavors of my first thoughts are always with me. And it reminds me how far I've come, how long I've been doing this. And, you know, I am simply amazed at how happy a life I've been able to carve out for myself by simply getting away from society. The way I set my tent up is by using these nail pegs that I get from Vargo Titanium. They're about $7 a piece, but they're nigh indestructible. Their Achilles heel is the little hole here that allows you to attach your line to, but no biggie. You can get larger ones. They do have those. But what I like to do is get my line spread out, my ridge line. Find a spot where I'm going to peg it and just push it in, whooshy style. If I have to, sometimes I find wedging the peg underneath your heel and just shoving it in works really well. So I'll take the other side and, you know, make sure I've got, when I'm sitting cross-legged, enough headroom. Much more than ample headroom, it just won't set right. So I find a branch that's ample height for what I'm working on, or even the right direction. You know, sometimes things just don't work out the direction you like, so you reset. With experience and time, you'll come to find the direction and the lay that you prefer. This seems good, over a nice flat spot that I imagine myself having room to sleep. Now I'll like to pull it tight and then sit underneath it. Make sure I've got enough height for my head, assuming I've got a 2-inch sleeping pad too. This is definitely appropriate height. You don't want it too low or slack, because if it touches your sleeping bag, it'll just capillary and get moist. And just get you wet anyway. But if it's got air passing through it, the worst you're going to get is a couple drips, and well, heck, that's why I carry a towel. So I'm really not sure what the knot is, but I like to wrap it around a couple times and then just pass the slip knot through the top of the loop, which allows a friction knot so that I can adjust it slack as necessary. So after wrapping it around and adjusting my wraps so they lay flat, pull the loop through and then pull tight. Cinch it along as necessary. Now you want this tight, but not so tight that it pulls your peg out the other end. I like to double check it to see that I still have good positive connection into the ground and give it a nice twang. To set the tarp, I do a similar. I have lines attached to the ends. I like to get it on the top, find where I want it, wrap it around the two lines that I just started with, because that helps cinch it in place a little bit better even. Only 5 or 6 wraps is all you need for a good grip. Kind of like a, I don't know, I can't even think of my knots right now. Once I get the front and back set, that allows me to adjust it up or down depending on where I need it to be. Ah! Stay out of my ear! Ooh, you sucker! Now, I can see that I've got it too far high. It'll be difficult to get in and out. So I just walk up to the front, slide it back as necessary, and then just tighten it up. Same thing with the corner pegs. I let them out and grab my first one. And I work my way corner to corner to corner. Now remember, it's just a tarp, so you don't have to cinch it down like it's a, semi-truck load. It just has to be enough to keep the rain off of you. Now I like to tug. Now the way I'll set them is find your corner and pull it so that it is the proper geometry, which tells you the direction and line that your peg line needs to go. Sometimes you can squish it one side or the other to create a wrinkle in which rain can fall down to make it easier to collect rainwater. For this, I just use a slip knot where I go twice. A nice long tail, and then come around it again, which locks it in place. This is as minimal and complete a shelter as I know how to build. Keeps me dry, keeps the wind off of me, and doesn't take up a whole lot of room in the pack. There are a lot of uses for a tarp, from shade to dry to, well, just something to picnic on top of. It's extremely versatile. Whereas a tent, it really just does one thing and weighs several pounds more. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining me. Oh yeah, the secret. Secret sauce. See you guys later.